Determining the Sex of a Skeleton by Hannah Barr. So let's start out at looking at the skeletons themselves. The males are going to be normally on average, are going to be a lot taller than the females. You're going to notice that their bones are a lot thicker than females too. They're going to have more bone development because they have more muscle points. So let's start out by looking at the pelvises. There's a lot of differences between the two. So let's start out by looking at the pelvises. The female pelvis is going to have the hip bone. It's going to be a lot more outward. Also, it's going to have a circular inlet, and also the angle where the two pelvic bones meet is going to be larger. Also, the female pelvis is going to be a lot larger and broader than the males. The male's going to have a heart-shaped inlet, and also when you look at the sacrum, you're going to notice that the males have a narrow, longer sacrum than the female has. Let's now look at the difference between the pelvises. When looking at the pelvises, you can tell there's a lot of difference between the two. Let's look at the females. In this view of the pelvis, you're going to notice that the sacral notch is going to be more rounder in females than males, who's going to have more of an angle. The auricular surface in females is going to be more ridged, while the males is going to be softer.
The pelvis is just one of the many ways to determine the sex of a skeleton. Now we're going to look at the skull. There is many differences between the female and male skull, so let's learn about them.
So let's start out by looking at the male's skull. It's going to be thicker, heavier, larger than females. They're going to have a square chin. You're going to notice that where the mandible and also the cranium meets, it's going to be a larger surface. There's a large brow ridge, which is noticeable. You're going to notice that there's a acute angle on the male's mandible. Also, you're going to notice that they have a more pronounced mastoid process. When you see the females, you're going to notice that you can rarely see theirs. Let's start out now by looking at the female skull. You're going to notice that it's not big, it's smaller, unlike the males. You're going to notice that there's sharp upper margins where the eye sockets are. They're going to have smaller brow ridges. It's barely noticeable, unlike the males where you could really notice it. You're going to notice that the females have more of a pointed chin. They have a wider angled jaw than the males had. They have a less pronounced mastoid process, but when we looked at the males in the slides before, you could see that they are very pronounced. It's very noticeable, unlike the females.
Created using Powtoon.